If you want, we could go through your stuff, and if you want to take off, you can. Normally, the guest host just sticks around for the whole hour, and we talk about other shit.
I'm already here, so we might as well suck it up and do it, baby.
All right. And we do edit the show, so if at any time you're like, dude, I gotta go to bed, like.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
I'm committed, baby.
Or we can just like record you doing a couple things like, wow, that's great. Oh my God, I never thought of it like that.
And you'll just be frozen and then chime in.
For real? Yeah, and then Chris will just edit that in later. Go,
I like the way you
think.
That would be wow.
We kind of
I
did
can just imagine the comments now. Lou has the vocabulary of a 3-year-old. He knows 6 whole words.
Hey everybody, it's Dove from DKE Toys, and welcome to DKE Toys TV with our special guest artist Lou Pimentel.
Yay!
What's up, everybody?
And always our hosts, Janky Toys and Scott Cherry Barbarian Rage.
Hello.
Ian Wilcox is hanging around in the background and says hi whenever he feels like it, but apparently he doesn't. Oh, there you go.
Goes.
Anyway. So, Lou, how's it going?
Hanging in there here, enjoying New York,
Nice.
dealing with the coronavirus.
Yes. As are we
I'm trying not to
all.
cough on the screen. I don't want to make you guys sick.
I know you're not 100%. I really appreciate you being with us. We have really something important to promote here. Is that your show at Gallery 1988? Influential Figures 3 is now live on their site, and I'm going to show a few of these pieces right here, these beautiful works of art.
Thank you, sir.
Look at that. So what Lou has done here is he has painted this watercolor, and we have glued it to this laser cut card here, and then we've ruined the artwork by gluing a shitty figure to it.
Yeah, look at the detail in that painting. That's incredible.
Just unbelievable. Next level.
I think Lou, what I love about Lou's artwork is not the detail, it's where he loses the detail.
Yes. Always a favorite.
Do you know what I mean? I mean where it's just sort of like splattered or the detail is pulled back.
This is a great example of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I mean, the looser they are, like the better. Or like when it's like super tight in one spot and then it just goes right, and then those are the greatest. Like,
but there's
Beauty in the chaos, baby.
even
yeah,
with all the softness, there's so much character that comes through. There's so much life in those characters. Like, I don't know. You got a gift, my friend. You're amazing.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Really fantastic.
so this is the third Gallery 1988 show. This whole process started with us New York Comic Con, like when was that?
15 or 16?
2019.
No, I feel like
2019, no.
It was like 15 or 16.
Was the very first one?
Yeah.
2019. Our fact checker will.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, say more years. Say more different years.
Yeah.
1776.
1744.
So yeah, you painted 20 that year and did it for several more shows with us, and then based on that, we booked you a show at Gallery 1988, which DKE curated here, and this is the third one, the third year running. And they're just unbelievable.
Thanks, man.
So
My mistake. 2018.
are you sure?
New York, I know it was New York Comic Con. I don't remember the year. I thought it was 16, but 18 sounds good.
I don't know, man. Life is weird.
Wow.
It's gonna be 2024 soon. It's like the century is gonna be like 25% over, like really soon.
Oof.
Remember,
Yeah,
like
thanks,
remember
Dom.
like Y2K and that shit.
It's just,
The fuck happened, man?
He's like, hey guys, we only have 15 more years to live. How do you feel about that?
let's look at these paintings.
I was just browsing some movies the other day, and the movie 2012 came up. Remember, that was a whole big deal. That if the Mayan calendar is going to end, that means that's the end of the world. And there was all this panic, and I don't even think that was the only 2012 movie.
No, there were a couple that sort of came out that year.
Of catastrophe movies.
Yep.
Anyway, we're in the weeds. We're in the weeds.
But every time I look online and like the dates from the movies keep passing, the Back to the Future Day and the Alien Day, and it's like all these days.
The
like
Blade Runner has already happened.
Yeah, we got to like 2001, and then we got to 2010, and it's like, okay, science fiction, it's just not real anymore.
George Jetson, I guess, has already been born.
Big.
That's amazing.
It's so good.
What's the toy that you use there? Is that the Burger King?
No, I forgot who made these. I know Super 7.
That's a Super 7.
Munster.
That's a Super 7. And we really lucked out because in the first 2 or 3 shows that Lou did with us, we sort of maxed out all of the cool vintage toys. And the Super 7 stuff.
How dare you?
All the new stuff in 3 3/4 has really just, I'm going to say, is like saved us and allowed this whole project to just keep moving. Really exceptional. And the very first ones, Ian has confirmed that 2018 was the very first show. The very first show, they were mounted on just regular cardstock. And we thought that, if it's going to be in a gallery, it had to be nice. So Ethan from 1980 who has all of this gear, if you ever need, wood laser cut these
or acrylic. Yeah, he does
acrylic. Yeah. And then we had to take these pieces and have them silk screened with what it says on the back. It says Vintage Gold by Lou Pimentel. I guess that's the whole line, is called Vintage Gold. Influential Figures, obviously the name of the Gallery 1988 show, but much better name in retrospect, because when you Google Vintage Gold, you just get a bunch of gold jewelry, from the 1800s.
Yep.
It says you're holding a one-of-a-kind
1-800-CASH for gold.
That actually comes straight to my phone, but anyway. You're holding a one-of-a-kind hand-painted watercolor by Lou Pimentel. Each painting is accompanied by an authentic vintage-style action figure. Please do not attempt to remove the figure from the package, as it may damage the art. And what a colossal pain in the ass it is to silk screen on wood and then glue this little apparatus there. And then the amount of work that Ian does, because Lou sends us the art with a little bit of bleed, and then Ian has the ball shriveling job of
it's a scary job. I feel bad for Ian.
Dude, I fucking love that shit.
Dude, he just lives for it, right? It's taking this artwork, gluing it to this back. Lou has already flattened it, right? So how do you flatten it? Because watercolor
Iron those babies.
You iron them.
They're super wavy when I'm done because I use a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
So then I get a paper towel, wet the back, lay it face down, put another paper towel on the back, iron it. The key is to make sure that you turn off steam. So this is a dry heat.
Mm.
You don't want steam coming through the paper because then it's just gonna, I guess, come off the surface and stick to the paper towel. So
once Ian glues it to the board here, then he has to take a razor blade and cut the edges to make it nice. Then he's got to take it outside and several coats of sealer, and then glue the figure down. And then glue the blister, and then not fuck it up. And yeah, no, Ian has. We gotta preserve those hands.
I was gonna say he's like
in Zoolander,
using a bomb.
Has that dome on his hands.
Insure the hands.
And so, how many pieces are we into this show already? I mean, is it like
Dude,
we're
it's
over
well
a
over
hundred?
100.
Wow.
Right. So, what's crazy
100?
is, yeah, if you think of like 1988 shows, and then how many shows did we do? We did at
I
least
think
three.
we did 3 as well.
It was 3. Yeah.
Three. So, I mean, that's like 6 shows worth. Average 20. Yeah, we're way over 100. And Ian has never fucked one up. I've never had to call
telling
Luke
you.
crying, saying, I'm sorry, you had to paint it again.
You do not talk about a no-hitter. Do not call out a no-hitter.
Sorry.
Yeah. Bad luck.
That
Wow.
boy special.
Look at that one.
Seriously, it's therapeutic for me.
My anxiety would go through the roof taking something.
Oh, same here.
The first batch, yeah, I was nervous as hell. But now it's just like, all right, gimme.
You can do it in your sleep.
I've sat here and watched Janky like card figures for a day, and it was like that. I mean, that was insane.
I don't like it.
Look at that.
Wow.
Wow. That looks so awesome, man.
I think that was my favorite from the show.
Yeah.
I should have kept that one.
Is that a Remco or is that a
That's a Super 7.
Super 7?
Dude, that's nuts.
So awesome. I don't know, that Grandpa Al Lewis one, man.
Oh, look at that.
Oh wow.
I don't think we had any Star Trek, so we had like 100 pieces. No, we did. We had Luke and I'm sorry, we didn't have any Next Generation.
Yeah.
We had Kirk and Luke. What am I saying? I have Star Wars on the brain.
Yeah, I was
We
gonna
also
say,
did a horror.
We did Uhura,
Spock.
Spock, and
Yep.
Kirk. Look at that one.
Jeez.
Wow.
And so what's funny is oftentimes there are figures that are sort of generic, and then Lou interprets them into something that they weren't originally intended. I don't even know what these figures are.
Those are my favorite ones when Lou takes the creative license there and says, yeah, I'm just gonna make this into, what was it, Sally not Sally Ride.
Sally Fields.
Sally Fields.
Yeah, it was
like,
the Sally Fields. It was like a generic adventure people.
That was just a mistake.
No, that was Daisy Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that Shining 2-pack actually was one that scared me.
Oh,
Yeah,
So,
that's a tricky one.
Yeah.
so I always text Lou these photos that the images of the figures that we find, and so this adventure people figure showed up. Right, and it's like, what do you do with that? And he's like, I'm gonna turn it into Van Gogh.
So
That's
that was from an episode of Doctor Who. That was my favorite episode. My favorite Doctor Who. Jesus, I can't even speak. My favorite Doctor Who episode was the one where Van Gogh got to see like a retrospective of his work, and just how much his work meant to the world. And man, I was crying like a fool watching that episode. And so this actor that played Van Gogh he did such an amazing job that I just painted him because he looked like Van Gogh. So I just went with it.
I love it's a
Amazing.
double deep cut.
Yeah.
So all the ones I've showed you are 6x9, but there are some. What size is this? 8.5, 8. No.
So good.
Yeah, this is 8.5 by 11.
Amazing.
And then you can just see, like, we just got like a fucked up Playmates figure and glued it on there.
It's
But
almost
just,
like some of these, like the beadier the figure is, the better it works on the card.
I like the ones with the scratches and just makes it.
Well played.
So the 6x9s at the gallery right now are $250. I'm showing these bigger ones because they're just for scale. How big they are. It's double the painting and it's only like $100 more. These are $350.
Man, $250 is not, I mean, that's kind of a bargain for this level.
Those are crackhead prices. For real.
Okay, but then this is the 11x14.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Right,
Oh
so
my God.
just to give you the
Damn.
scale here, and these are $500. There's not a lot of these. But,
How long did that take, Lou?
Maybe I'd say like 3-4 days.
Wow, this is like what
Yeah.
Skeletor should look like in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah, the Skeletor from the movie just looks like Jack Palance.
Yeah, you're right.
I like it. I like it when Scott makes himself laugh.
I'm just picturing Skeletor doing one-armed push-ups on the stage at the Oscars, like Jack.
Right.
Believe it or not.
Amazing. Well, Lou, it's such a great body of work, and I don't know. I hope that one day this can all be compiled into a book. I think as it should.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I always think
think
it's
it's
such a
amazing.
shame when like these things come out slowly in pieces and then they get sold off and then they just sort of disappear and can't like be shown together anymore. You know, they're just sort of like off in the world at wherever they are.
I mean, you say there's over 100 of them. I mean, that's pretty
Yeah, I think we have like
staggering.
at least 140
Wow.
or
Jeez.
150.
Crazy pants.
Do 50 more, and then you do the first 200, and
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take a break. I'm taking a break from the tutorial.
I think
How about
Lou-
we do every single Star Wars figure?
Yeah.
Dove's eyes just
Don't remind me of the commissions I have to do for Dove.
those
Let me
are the
guess.
thi-
Every single Star Wars figure.
yeah, he's got a set of the original 12 for me to do, and every time there's a new deadline for a new show, that just sort of like gets pushed to the back.
Listen, man, you want some good wine? You gotta wait, baby.
Oh man.
Now it's time for What Did Dove Buy? Hey dude, what'd you get?
I did pick up a couple cool things since the last show. So this artist named Tony Mora. He's at Tony Mora on,
Oh, I met him. He's a really nice guy.
and
I like him a lot.
I freaked out at Decon looking at all the custom muscle figures he made. And these are all 3D printed. And I don't know how he 3D printed them in the right color, but
What?
they're
Dude, yeah, I want that.
okay. Next level.
that's awesome.
No, his muscle figures are they're awesome. Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, he just has
What?
mastered like the style. He's got the sculpts down. He's revamped them in
I
his
will
style.
also say that color, that specific color is so hard to nail too.
Absolutely.
But he nailed it in 3D printing.
Mhm.
These are not painted.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
My favorite one is this one that's in 3 pieces. I'm going to borrow Jean-Luc Picard for this.
How dare you?
So
This is
here's the head, and then he's got the 2 hands, and it just looks like it's coming out of the ground.
Awesome.
wow.
Damn.
Apologies to Jean-Luc here, but
Worth
Those are
it.
badass, dude.
dude,
What do these go for?
man, I wish I knew. I asked him for a set of them, and I don't know, like 2 years later, he showed up here with them. So,
So he's playing hard to get.
yeah, his info is here at the bottom. You can contact him or go to his store. But this is, I know he's working on more of them.
Dude, I love these. He captured the style so well.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look at this
He's a
one.
machine too. He seems
my
to have a new one almost every day.
What is
Wow,
that?
so
That's
cool.
incredible.
Okay, and last one is this.
That would have to be printed. How the hell would you ever even
You-
think
you-
of
You couldn't get that out of the
casting
mold.
something like that? No way. Yeah,
Jeez.
crazy.
Unbelievable. So Tony, you're a star.
Lou approved.
Lou approved. Well, I wanted Lou to do some muscle figures, in this series, but what was the reasoning is that he had to find something real life instead of just drawing the toy, had to do something real life. And then we didn't know what to do real life.
Well, it would be too
But-
time consuming. And for the prices that we're charging, it didn't make any financial sense to do that.
I mean, it would have you'd have to find a muscle figure that looked like, one that looked like Hulk Hogan or something, or one that looked
But
like.
what about just taking some really nice toy photography? Would you do something like that?
But that's
I've done a couple of muscle paintings.
Oh,
But-
okay.
I
But
did an
that's-
oil painting that Luke Chu has. I did a couple of commissions in watercolor.
But if you look at them, this is the painting is from a movie. It's a real life person, right? So I think I guess I'm sort of speaking for Lou, who's sitting right here, but it's
I was gonna say these are Dove's parameters. not Lou's.
no, it's what Lou came up with. It just it's this is a painting of Grandpa Munster, but of the real life actor. And so when we get to something like this, right, Lou, like you've always had to find something to interpret that figure to. So the
Yeah.
muscle figures would have to be interpreted into something else.
Mhm.
I do have a few pieces where he has painted toys for me, but they are not here. They're in a box. So he did the 4 Cantina aliens for me, and did a run of them as they are, like in the movie characters, and then also painted the
The
figure.
actual toy.
portraits.
Speaking of Cantina aliens here, so I got a set from Chance Priest from Victory Comics,
I love that guy, man.
and
Oh wow.
He does some wild toys, and he's got a wild toy collection. I mean, and it goes deep too. I mean, stuff I've never seen anywhere else.
So
These
you're
are-
basically saying he's single.
No, he's got, I think he bought like a barn or a giant building in Texas just to make toys out of. And I think that it's like a family run business. I think he's got like his wife and kids in there, like painting and casting. And
I'm not jealous at all.
yeah, dude, it's a whole operation. It's
Every part of that
awesome.
sounds great except for out in Texas.
I don't
And
know.
then-
He seems to make it work pretty well. That snaggletooth is great.
Oh, look at that hammerhead.
unbelievable. So you
Hammerhead on
can
roids.
he's Victory Comics LLC on
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Because the archive is getting so well sorted, Ian was able to grab.
Who the
Our
hell
collection.
did that?
Yeah, wow.
Do you have the
Beautiful.
other ones with the? Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Wow. Do you take the photos?
So before, one of my favorite things was setting up like these crazy elaborate like dioramas,
Mhm.
lighting them up all crazy, very dramatic light, and then photographing it. So the thing with me that I discovered a couple of years ago, I've been with my wife 21 years, and she's always like, "You need to sketch stuff. Why don't you just sketch things?" And it's like, I didn't realize until recently that I can't picture images in my head. I didn't know that was a thing. So she's like, "You can't picture a blue apple." If I say blue apple, and it's like, I don't see anything in my head at all.
Wow.
So she could recall a memory and see it vividly and reenact it, and like she's living it again. I can't do that. So
Hmm.
I have to see something, and when I see it, I'm like, that's what I want. But as far as being able to come up with that image in my head, I just can't do that. So
Interesting.
this whole time I've been working around my handicap, not knowing why I chose to work a certain way. So I would like to build these big sets and light it, photograph it from a million different angles, and then when I see the right angle that worked, I'm like, yeah, that's the one. But that's just how my brain works, unfortunately.
That's one of the
Yeah.
great things about art, though, is that art is like universally this opportunity to take not a flaw, but takes like something that's hard, like a drawback or something that you're not good at, and artists flip them to make them into skills. Like if I'm not good at this, I'm going to flip the way I work and it's going to open up a whole new creative process because I can't do this. And I mean, that's one of the things I love about the creative process, the artistic process.
But what I love about this is Lou didn't even know that it was a detriment until
Just, yeah.
I had no idea that it was a handicap, and she's like, "You seriously?" I was like, "I cannot picture things in my head." And she's like, "You know how many arguments we've had over the years of like, you should just sketch it out," because I'd get frustrated, and I'm like, it doesn't work for me that way, and now I know why.
Oh,
Here's
so
Walrus
good.
Man. So
so awesome.
Ian went and grabbed the first ones that he did. So like here is the original one
Yeah.
with Ponda Baba
Cool.
from the movie. So this is kind of what we're talking about. Like if it was to do a muscle, it would have to be a photo of the
Sure.
then.
Unless I get a picture of Vin Diesel and put that crest on his head.
Those I want to see. Like, Photoshop some crazy, like, make your own muscle
so
guys.
Cool.
No, I could. It's just that it's super time consuming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Photoshop's my best friend when it comes to envisioning things, because I'm like, I can see things in my head, but it's soft. Like I don't see everything. So putting together the puzzle pieces in Photoshop is how that's how I build what I want to do. And then I have to work off a reference. Like that's always been what I have to do. But
have you tried taking Viagra?
I have. Weirdly, I don't get anything done when I do that.
I'm gonna say that of all of these sets of Cantina aliens that I get made for me, Snaggletooth is rarely my favorite of the set, right? Sort of the throwaway, but look at that one.
That is fucking
That
awesome.
handsome son of a gun.
Look at
Man,
that.
it's like Fear and Loathing Snaggletooth.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying about where to know where to be detailed and where not to.
It's
I
just-
mean, talking about the way that your brain functions, there's no way I would be able to do it like that. Well, I mean, you say Fear and Loathing, Ralph Steadman is the same way, where one part will be very detailed and then it'll just be splattered. I mean, even doing a splatter on a painting gets me so nervous. I never do it because it never turns out the way that I want to, and like that chaos of
You have
I'm
to keep
afraid of it.
practicing.
I'm
You gotta keep doing
afraid.
it. You have to keep doing it. I was the same way. So
yeah, he's got to keep painting for 2 weeks and then fuck it up in 10 minutes. Like, I was like, I hate this.
well, that's the magic of watercolor. It's like it's so immediate. It's so quick. With oil paintings, I would sit there and obsess with getting like the perfect blends and the perfect gradients, and it's like to a point where it felt super mechanical, like a machine was sitting there like painstakingly blending everything in. When I tried watercolor for the second time, so I predominantly worked in oil for a long time, and my studio was home. When we had our daughter, I didn't want her exposed to like the liquid and the turpentine and all those strong solvents that I was using.
Yeah.
So I needed a safer alternative. So in the past, I had tried watercolors that didn't work. I just didn't feel comfortable with the medium. But something about coming to it a second time, I sort of approached it the way I approach my oil paintings. Like I would start off with a burnt umber or yellow ochre very lightly and get my values sort of in there. And then I would go into chaos mode and just make a mess and then slowly try to pull the figure out of the puddle of mess.
Wow.
And it was very liberating. It felt fun. I think it was more like a nervous energy because, like you said, Scott, it's easy to, there's no undo. With acrylic.
Not on watercolor.
Yeah.
And I love watercolor too, but again, all of my tiny little brush strokes, there's never any.
That's the mistake though. You have to start with your biggest brush because it forces you to not focus on the details. So I come in with, I use like a Sumi-E brush, like a Japanese calligraphy brush that holds a lot of water, fairly decent size. And then I'll come in there and start blocking stuff in with that. But I'm loading it up with water, letting it drip and make a mess as I'm trying to sketch with the paint. And then as I progress, I slowly start working my way down to smaller brushes, smaller strokes, until, you know, I pick a specific area to start rendering a little more than the rest and then kind of let it fade away. I feel like early on I was a little more, I don't know how to say it. I guess I was less nervous. These days, like, I feel like I try to control the paint a little too much sometimes. And I miss being able to like just let go and just make the mess and not worry about how it's going to turn out. But when you're on a deadline and you're like, I can't just keep scrapping paintings. But in the beginning, I was just like, I would go and make a mess, and it was like, if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, it didn't. I need to get back to that. But now it's like, I really want to go super big. Like, I want to do maybe like 5-foot paintings.
Wow.
Holy
Wow.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So that's hopefully where I go next. I want to go really big because that just leaves so much more room for chaos.
Yeah.
Just build
That's the fun part.
build a huge wooden box, and then you can just paint the Millennium Falcon on it. And then Ian would have to like lose his shit trying to glue that.
I'm down for that challenge. I
So
need another
Ian,
jug
are
of
we gonna
Mount
see your
Medium.
pretty face? What's going on?
No, I'm trapped in the phantom zone.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I tried to get Lou to save me all of his scrapped paintings. And I was like, just throw them in a box. Don't toss them. And he's just like, he wouldn't do it. He couldn't, he had to tear them up and eject them from the world. And I was like, I wanted like this pile of 20, rejects.
There
just
were
so
a
people
lot of
could-
rejects. Do you remember Lizard Woman?
Yeah. The
She
from the
was
Flash
hideous.
Gordon.
She was hideous. I remember I showed it to you. You were like, I don't think that's the right direction to go with this one. She was bad.
I don't even remember that.
I mean, it's interesting
Yeah.
that, like Dan Polydoros said the same thing when, Death by Toys, when he talked about his notebooks, that he just notebooks full of ideas and he just trashes them as part of his process. And the same thing, like Dub's like, please don't throw those away, send them to me. And he's like, I've got to get rid of them. It's part of the process.
I mean, on one hand, and I've said this to artists over the years, like, the definition of excellence is what you show people, right? So if you're a band, if you're U2, you go into the studio and you record 100 songs, and then you pick out the best 10 or 12 or 15 and put them on an album, and no one hears the other stuff.
Until you die.
Right. Then they start
And then
releasing
they come out and your
all of
family's
your
embarrassed.
garbage.
Yeah. Or your fourth divorce where you're just paying off alimony. You got to dig
Right.
in.
Or the box set of all the treasures, and but yeah, I mean, there is something to that, but for artists, I like seeing the process. When I buy a painting from someone, I ask them often, for their sketches and their preliminary work, like if they're going to just throw that out. I like seeing the idea and then have it transform into the final piece. Like historically, like 10, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, that's a little getting into the artist's brain, and it's a lot of that just goes away. So kind of sad.
No,
but
I like that. It's a cool concept, unless you're the artist.
but
And then you're like, yeah, no, I don't want to show this. But yeah, no, like my first acrylic painting, I wish I kept it, but it was hideous, and I literally set it on fire.
Wow.
It was bad.
Wow.
But now I wish I had it.
Yeah. Well, if you would have shipped it to me, I would have had it in a box.
I didn't know you back then, though.
Yeah.
Although I've known you for a long time, but I didn't know you when I first started acrylic painting.
So you brought up Ralph Steadman. Did you guys see the Johnny Depp documentary, the Ralph Steadman documentary?
No.
I highly recommend it. It's a little weird because
When did it come out?
in the last 10 years, I think. Could you tell me the name of that? Ian's Googling. I wish I had it here to show you, but you brought up Ralph Steadman, and Johnny Depp is just sitting with him as he is just like taking, sort of like you just sort of see the process. It's really kind of crazy, and he
It came out in
discusses like,
2012. It's called For No Good Reason.
there you go, for no good reason.
I will watch that. Yeah, Thompson said that he hated Steadman because he would be up writing and clacking away on the story, and Steadman would like have some lipstick on like a napkin, and he'd be like, "I'm done."
It goes like deep into their relationship and him working for them and all this kind of stuff. It was really a lot of fun.
I'll watch that probably tonight.
I mean, I'm always a fan of documentaries about artists, and
I'll watch
them.
whatever it is. Yeah,
Yeah, I watch them religiously as they come out, and sometimes it's like an artist I really like, but it's like, like the grandson made it, and it's just like this shitty, like
it stinks. Yeah,
it stinks. But they show the art, and there's a little bit of story in an interview, and really kind of cool.
I watched kind of an interesting documentary last week called Console Wars, which was about the battle between Sega and Nintendo for supremacy. And
that was good.
The documentary is great, but there's a really interesting parallel with the marketing of it and bringing over people from Mattel, people who had worked at marketing in Mattel to start running the Sega marketing, and how they were sort of crossing over into the toy world and using a lot of the toy techniques to push Sega. It's really worth watching if you like.
Sega has what Nintendo don't. That set off a nuclear bomb in a 12-year-old Scott's brain, where I was like, Mortal Kombat's got to have real blood. Yeah, I watched that too. The console wars, they were real, man.
A couple more things. Walked in the door with this big trouble.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
From Matt Gonda.
That's incredible.
What? I didn't see that. Oh my God. That's amazing.
It is a Sufubi. It's made in Japan. Just, me and Simpsons. Just.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, a little pricey, but I went for it. There's that. I'm gonna destroy it. But this piece here from Rainbow Yawn in the UK.
He does really great work.
Unbelievable. I wish he would make something for us. We've talked before, but it's like his stuff takes so long to make. He does so well at just selling it all at full price. Like, he just really doesn't need our help. But it just
Wow.
I mean, what?
Yeah, that looks legit.
Toxic Crusaders, He-Man. There's I think it's a cap that comes off the back, and you put slime in it, and it oozes out the chest.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
crazy.
Like all the Toxic Crusaders had like slime action. That one, yeah, the artwork on it, everything. That the paint apps on it.
It's called Toxic Masculinity. Hideously deformed barbarian of superhuman size and strength. Warning, this package contains Toxhe, Tox-HE, the likable, lumpy-headed hero with cleanup or die sleeping mop. Just
man.
I made 10 of them, and it's like, I don't know, I paid for it like earlier this year. I didn't realize. I don't care. I mean, I thought they were ready to go, and then it was like sold out, and then 6 months later it's like, oh, ready to ship these. It was like rad, and then this showed up. It just next level.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Beautiful job.
Is it all original sculpt, or is it Kit Bash and sculpt?
I think he's sculpting onto the original pieces.
Because one of the legs looks like the mutagen man with the.
It is.
I mean, he had to take away from it too. So I'm not sure if he molded it in wax and then. But and then just the detail, if you can see the the sewer cap there with the
So good.
can of soda. Just really, I don't know, exceptional.
I believe it comes with the mop too. No, am I
Yes.
wrong?
There's a
Yeah.
mop in there. Yeah, it's in the back. It's orange, and there's a shield.
Mhm.
You can see it hiding back there. Just great job.
It's
Anyway.
fantastic, top to bottom. That's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a home run.
All right. Are we ready for our drawing? So how many subscribers do we have?
We currently have 521 subscribers.
Woohoo!
If you could bring your phone over here and type in 521.
I use random.org.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Random.org.
I do a lot of giveaways too on my newsletter at barbarianrage.com. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So right there, it's 1 out of 521. And then we're going to hit generate, and it's number 106.
All right, I'm going to start counting. You guys chat amongst yourselves.
4, 18, 65.
Stop distracting him.
A flight of the bumblebee.
So the winner, they're in the US, will get free shipping of this Ron English set of $500 value,
Nice.
limited to 20.
Woo!
All right,
Look at that. And the winner is
the winner is
Got cherry. Yes.
Ringo 22er is our winner.
Ringo
Yeah,
22er.
Ringo.
YouTube
All right.
user Ringo 22er could also potentially be Hot B55. We'll figure that out.
Oh, happy.
Uh,
Happy sounds good.
Okay, Ringo, we're going to mention this on Instagram and in the description of the show. Please get in touch. DKE Toys TV at gmail.com. Send us your address. If you are outside of the US, we'll ask you for some shipping. If you're inside the US, you will get this beautiful Ron English set. If you don't mind, also give us your Instagram handle so we can celebrate you on Instagram. Well, woohoo! Time for graduation.
And don't forget that $5 pack of cards too. This is a 505.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh
prize
yeah.
pack.
That's right, everyone.
yeah,
That's
Scott.
right.
It's gonna take a month for us to get those cards.
I'll get them out to you.
All right, guys. Anything else before we wrap up?
How do we go about seeing Lou's show?
Influential Figures 3 is at Gallery 1988. You can go to 1988.com, spelled out. All the pieces are there.
All
get
one
'em.
word.
Yes.
First thing.
1988.com.
All one word.
Awesome.
All one word. They're all there for you to see. You can order them. They will start probably by the time you see this episode, they'll be shipping all the sold pieces. So please check it out.
Awesome.
Make sure to check out our latest interview posted on Friday. Jay O'Leary is our guest, our pandemic interviews.
Toofy, it is a
Toofy.
stream of consciousness romp with Toofy.
Oh, I haven't watched it. I mean, I haven't seen it since I lived it.
I lived it.
It's great.
And all I remember is me just saying to him, "Why do I like you?"
It was like one of the first things you say to him. Well, and the whole interview, it's fascinating because he is such a unique individual. But you trying to rank him the entire interview is its own second tier of entertainment. So you get his artistic story and then Dove trying to keep him on topic. It's a gem. It is worth watching.
Amazing. If you order anything at the DKE Toys website and you mention DKE Toys TV in the notes section, you'll get this free invisible Sucklord figure. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, both at DKE Toys. We're going to have a new contest that we're going to announce next episode. And what else? If you want to get in touch with Janky, DKE Toys TV at gmail.com. He likes to read questions, comments, and hate mail.
Do send them our way.
Awesome. Thank you, Lou. Feel better. Sorry
Thanks,
to
man.
drag you out so late. When
No,
you're
this was
feeling well.
fun. The hour flew by. I really enjoyed it. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
awesome to have
Cool,
you, man.
man.
This was great.
Awesome.
I'll talk to you soon. Feel
And
better.
Ian, you're a master, brother. I can't believe you've gone through so many figures without fucking up once. You're a legend.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you.
Send some more. I'll do them.
No more.
We got a 5-foot one coming your way.
Yeah, that's gonna be
There
the
you
big
go. Start training.
one.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. Thanks, Luke.
Bye.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.